Casual. We're going with the flow.
Casual. Okay.
We're off to a great start today, I think.
We're doing it, guys. Yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Miranda. And this is Not Your Granny's
Quilt Show. This is not your Granny's Quilt Show. All right. Welcome back to episode 3. 3? Yeah. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about our most influential quilters. The quilters who most influence us.
The people of the world that influence us.
The humans who do things that influence us. So, I'm going to start by saying my mom, because she's been sewing my whole life. Not necessarily quilting per se, but definitely sewing. And even though she tried to teach me, I was like, I don't do that. But she definitely had an influence on me because I only knew about sewing because of her.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really have anyone in my life that was like an avid sewist. I know that my grandma sewed when I was younger, and I always did fun crafts at her house, and she taught me how to like cross stitch in the way that a 10-year-old cross stitches.
I know it.
But my mom was never really a big sewist. I didn't really have a lot of that, so I really got into it. I know we talked about this before, but just by watching my friends quilt. So Beth and Jen are two really good friends and fellow quilters, are really the ones that got us into it, and the two people that I was most inspired by to get into quilting.
They basically forced us.
They 100% forced us, but
they gave us time to get used to the idea that they were going to force us into it. But
yeah, and to their credit, they like did some of my projects for me at the beginning when I was like, I'm a quilter, but I wasn't doing any of the work. I was just like observing them do it.
That's like,
and then giving people gifts and being like, I made this quilt for you, but
secretly running a sweatshop in the back of your house. Like, actually, they made it.
I mean, I cut some fabric, I think.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think like, you know, my mom's influence, and then just being around it, like the people that were with the most were doing it. So it was inevitable.
Yeah.
But they definitely, and they were so gentle about it, you know,
most of the time.
Unless they needed to yell at us because we were whining. But
yeah, Beth
is, we have quilty names. I'm the cussy quilter. She's the, I don't want to say the word because it's akin to not nice people.
We'll just stop there.
Anywho. Okay. But I think like fabric wise, I started loving fabric when like my mom started working with like Amy Butler fabrics, and like the huge florals and the pinks and greens, and just like they weren't bright colors, but they were vivid. Even though they were more pastel, it was still like intense and so beautiful, and that kind of piqued my interest in fabric. Like I had always picked fabrics to like for her to make me stuff, or like to add, you know, some zhuzh to my room because she would make me new curtains or whatever. But like Amy Butler fabrics are really where I was like, wait, this is fabric? Like people make stuff like this? And so that was like a huge like influence in my my start to loving fabric.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I know when I thought of quilting before, I thought of, you know, like brown fabric. I don't know why it's always brown, but just
good
like
old Midwest.
Yeah, yes. I am from North Dakota, so that's probably why. Yeah, I just thought of like old fabric that wasn't very cute, wasn't modern. And when I started hanging out with Beth and Jen a lot and just seeing all the projects that they would put together and like that beautiful fabric, that is what really got me inspired to start quilting, because I kept seeing all this fabric and I wanted it. I wanted to own it, and I knew that owning it meant that I had to do something with it, otherwise I just have it. I mean, that didn't stop me from having so much fabric that I haven't done anything with, but
Exactly.
Yeah, just seeing all their really pretty fabric. I know like Bonnie and Camille was one of the first fabric lines that I bought, and I still to this day have not done anything with that fabric line, but I still have it and I still love it and want to do something with it.
Yeah.
And Tula Pink, I think, is where I just really like fell head over heels with fabric, because it's so pretty and so like exactly fits like my style and the things that I love.
I wrote that down too in my notes. Like, it's just so bold and so interesting compared to like other fabric lines. And although like I love Bonnie and Camille too, and obviously Amy Butler, but like when I saw Tula, I was like, what is this? I love
it's
this.
All, like, bright pink, neon colors, like cute little animals, which is basically just all the things that I want around me all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. I think another like they were with Cotton and Steel for a while, but like they branched out and did their own thing. But the designers at Ruby Star, I just love their stuff so much.
I'm all about Ruby Star now. Every single time a line comes out, I'm just like, damn it, I have to buy it. I'm going to buy it.
And like, shit, honey, I'm about to spend $150. And he's like, wait, what? I'm like, nothing, I love you. But I think like you, it's so recognizable too, and I think that's why I'm drawn to them, because you see it and you're like, I know who that is, and it feels familiar. And like Rashida Coleman Hale is one of their designers, and if you don't know, get woke, because I don't know, like I'm just so drawn to her stuff. And like, so the four designers that I'm more familiar with is Rashida Coleman Hale, Melody Miller, Kimberly Kite, and Sarah Watts. And they have a couple other designers on their team, but I haven't used their stuff as much. But these four, they just like blow me away. Every line they come out with, I'm just like, how are you making such good fabric?
Yeah, I love it. And it's high quality, and a lot of their lines work together, so you can kind of mix and match sometimes.
Yeah.
I love the metallics. They always bring metallics in. I love a little sparkle, so I love the metallics in there. Yeah. It's so pretty. Every line they have is just so pretty.
Yeah, and I do love that they all four of them use complementing color palettes so that you can mix and match their lines together. So if it's not just Ruby Star, it's like, oh, Melody Miller under Ruby Star just put out a new line, then it's like, well, I know these pieces from these other designers are going to fit, and it makes it so much easier to pull a quilt together, because you know you have so much variety to choose from. And those little pops of metallic, they get me every time. Yeah, I'm like,
even the basics, shiny. Like we were just losing our mind over Speckled last night, which is just like a basic line with speckles on it. Like it's not even
it's like somebody took a paintbrush and went with paint across the fabric, but we're like, oh my god, it's so cute. I mean, it is. It really is. It's just...
And it makes for a great background. I mean, I have so many quilts. I just posted about this on Instagram. I have so many quilts that I used white as a background, and I don't ever use those quilts because I want the white to stay like beautiful and pristine. And some people did not love that idea, but some people kind of got it. Yeah. But using something like Speckled, where it's like still a very neutral background, or like a white color, but it's not like pure white, so I feel better about using it. And like if it gets like a little stain or like a little something, like you're not gonna notice it right away like you would on a pure white background. So they're just so great for backgrounds.
Yeah, they're just so versatile. I just used Speckled in 2 different kinds or colorways in a quilt that I made for a wedding gift, and like it just makes everything pop. Like it just gives that just enough color to like enhance everything, but it's a great background because it's not too busy, it's low volume, and just
I was complaining yesterday also because there was a quilt that I'm going to make that I bought all the background fabric for, and I bought grunge for background, and now I'm like, idiot, what was I thinking when Speckle exists?
And grunge isn't bad. I like grunge, but like when you've got your druthers, I just love it so much. We could talk about it for hours. Days, probably.
Yeah, welcome to this Speckled podcast.
Welcome to Speckled Only. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. The influence? I've been influenced, guys. Another one of my favorites is Katerina Rochella. I don't know how to say her name, but she always has like such rich, like more jewel tone, I guess, colors, and she pulls florals together so beautifully. And my favorite line of hers is the Esoterra, and it's a mix of like dinosaurs and flowers, and I just cried. I almost cried when I saw it the first time.
Yeah, I love that. I need a quilt of that. My friend's husband jokingly told me that he wanted a dinosaur quilt, and like thinking that I would never. But that line came out and it was so perfect, so I made him a dinosaur quilt for Christmas.
I guess this is happening. I remember, that quilt. It turned out so good.
It turned out really good.
And that big Monstera leaf pattern or pantograph.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really great. That was really great. I don't know. What else? There's so many.
I love that fabric these days is just like modern and fresh and colorful. And not your grandma's quilt.
No.
Although I'm sure grandma's uses fabric and that's great.
Yeah. I don't know though. Oh, I almost forgot rifle paper.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. That would have been the dumbest mistake because like, I mean, as well, you guys can't see, but like there's so much art in this house that is rifle paper.
Yeah. I just wallpapered my bathroom with rifle paper. Yeah. And there was a few disasters, but the outcome is great.
It's fine.
You can check out my Instagram for that saga.
Yeah. It was a good time. But I just like, and same thing, just the way they pull florals and their color palettes and like I want to own.
Yeah, their art is so great. I did order a couple yards of fabric when I was ordering that wallpaper just because I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but...
You don't have to know now. Like, I have so many plans, like stewing for fabric. I just need to have it in my possession so that if it ever goes away, I don't have to pay like 7,000 times the amount when I could have just got it. Yeah. You know, in the first place.
And you never know when you're going to need fabric. There's been so many times where someone has come to me with like a quilt commission or just an event has come up that it would be good to make a quilt for. And I've had like the perfect, like, oh, I have this fabric already that's so perfect for it. And that's like the best way to start a project.
Yeah. And that's how that wedding quilt was. Like, I just had the kit because I was getting like the Ruby Star quarterly booster, so every quarter I would get like a bundle of fat quarters and a pattern, and I was going to make the pattern for it, but then I did something different. But it was just like, oh, I have this, it's going to be beautiful, and it just was so nice to not have to like panic and be like, I don't know what to do, like
try to go find some fabric that might work.
Because like, you know, as a person with anxiety, it can be very stressful to like go shopping and pick things out. Like, what if they don't like it? What if that doesn't quite match? Like, what if I don't like it? And I just like spin out sometimes on these problems that I create in my head. And so having something that's like already curated is so nice. And I had to stop it though, because like I have so much fabric now, but it has come in handy.
Yeah. I do want to discuss how much fabric I have, but I keep buying it. That reminds me that a friend recently was asked me for a quilt, and I made her one, and it was beautiful, but she wanted it to just be super colorful and rainbowy, and I already had this Allison Glass layer cake that was perfect, and so Allison Glass is another one that I just really love because I love to make rainbows whenever possible, and she has just the perfect colorways for that.
Yeah, I made a quilt out of a rainbowy Allison Glass layer cake too for a friend and coworker, and it turned out so beautifully, and I was just like, I mean, you can't argue with it. It
cannot be a rainbow quilt.
Yeah. It's like, what else do you do with it? I don't know. It's great.
Yeah, I rainbow everything at this point.
Yeah, it's like the only way to do it.
Yeah,
rainbow it or ombre.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of a rainbow though? No. It's not. Guys, it's fine. I know what I'm talking about, I swear. What else was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So like as far as like actually quilting, like the long arming, so our dear friend Jennifer, who is one of our inspirations, she had started long arm quilting at our local quilt shop, the Quilt Crossing. You should check them out. We'll put their link somewhere. And and she was like, guys, it's so fun. It's so easy. Like, you just, put your quilts together. And we were like, that's cute. You do that. Like, that's great. And then once we actually started putting quilts together, instead of having her do it for us, because she did my first quilt.
She did a lot for me.
Yeah.
Because I refused.
Yeah. But then, like, my mom and I took the class to learn how to use the machine. And so that was it was like inspiring to see her creating. She's like, you just doodle. And we were like, it's got to be harder than that. And honestly, it's not. Like, it's not that hard. There's things that happen just like with any sewing machine, but just feeling inspired to try it because she was so willing was like really cool. Mm-hmm. And I love to watch Angela Walters, and like she does like the midnight quilt show. And yeah, she's the one who long arms all of Tula Pink's quilts. Like, they created a friendship, and like you should check her stuff out. She talks about how they actually ended up meeting. It was kind of funny, but
it's fine. We're not jealous at all.
We're not jealous. Yes, we are.
Long arming videos are so mesmerizing to watch. I could watch them for hours.
I really could too.
It's so mesmerizing to watch. Yeah. And I wish that I had that skill to just like free motion. Mm-hmm. These like amazing, like I do loop to loops or like squiggles is my forte.
Yeah, like I can like draw a heart and like do a lot of loops, but so this is the stuff that like professional like free motion quilters do, and Angela's one of them. I'm just like completely flabbergasted by their skill, and I know it's taken years and years of practice, but it's just like it's so beautiful. Yes. And like that in and of itself is art beyond the quilt itself, and so it just like it can elevate stuff. I don't know.
It can totally change like the look and feel of a quilt. Yeah, the quilting on it.
Mm-hmm. It gives it texture and just life where it didn't have it before, and it's so good. But her, and then my brain just went blank on the name. I'll think of it. Anywho, but for as far as quilting goes, or like long arm quilting, and then like where I get pattern design or pattern like inspiration, like Moda has a lot of great patterns. Emily Dennis of Quilty Love, I love her stuff. It's simple. It's usually really scrap friendly. Yeah. And then Missouri Star often offers some good.
Yeah, and they have some good free patterns that are just like very layer cake friendly, which is great because I have a million layer cakes and I'm always looking for stuff to do with.
And cutting yardages. Gross.
I love Then Came June on top of that, and Sarah Made. I've done a couple Sarah Made patterns. Oh, yeah. But really, I just scroll through Instagram. I have like my whole Quiltstagram set up, so really all I follow is quilters. So my feed is just filled with quilts, which is great. And I just, if I come across a pattern that I like, I save it in my like pattern folder that has like 1,000 things in it that I just scroll through when I'm looking for inspiration or a pattern I want to do.
Yeah. I definitely have pulled a bunch of stuff from Pinterest too, because there's been some really great free patterns on there and stuff that like I've just figured out myself by kind of sketching it out and trying to like plan the blocks and the cuts, and like there's lots of resources to find inspiration, but as far as like quilters and designers go, it's like there's so many out there, but I think you just have to find who speaks to you and like your likes and tastes, and there's going to be fabric out there that you're like, that is not cute, but like other people love it.
Someone loves it.
I think at first I was kind of judgy about fabric and like, oh, I can't believe they like that, but I'm like, they're probably thinking the same thing about me. Like, why would you like that crazy like bright neon? And I'm like, so just find what you like and stick with it, because I think just knowing that you like something will help inspire you too, because you can go to that and feel something, like feel attached to it, or feel like you want to make something out of it. important to me anyway. But I don't know. Did you have anybody else you want to mention or that you thought of? I'm like,
put me on the spot.
I know.
Here. Oh my god. It's hard to think because there's so many, and yeah, like I said, I just spend all my time on Instagram. I follow like 1,000 amazing quilters on Instagram, and I feel like some of them I've just like developed a cool like social media relationship with them, which is great. So then I want to like support them.
Yeah.
I just did a pattern test for Spring Daisy Stitchery, I believe is what she's called, her Instagram handle. But that was really cool to be able to like test a pattern, because I know, I mean, I've made a pattern in that it uses half square triangles and it's great for beginners, but
yeah,
I just know like all the thought that goes into like trying to create a pattern and make something like that. So it's just fun to have like those relationships with pattern designers and different people. And it's so cool when you comment on someone's post and if they respond to you, you're like, oh my god.
We like screenshot it and circle it and like send it to each other like, oh my god, they liked my stuff. Yeah. And it's like, it just feels so inspiring that like they're out there communicating and like interacting with the community. It's not like they just designed like us. Like, yeah, they're real people too. Yeah.
We were just talking about this, how some pattern designers and quilters are like celebrities to us. Like if we met Tula Pink, we'd be like, oh my god.
I would probably cry. I did get to meet Jenny Doan of Missouri Star when like me and my family, my parents and my husband, we went to buy our long arm machine in Utah, and she was at the quilt show we were at, and like she gave me a side hug and we took a picture, and I was like, oh my god. My mom was like, who's that? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, that's Jenny Doan. She was like, oh, what? I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I felt really cool for like 5 seconds. It's fine. But yeah, I think because they're doing what we love and they're inspiring us to continue doing what we love. And so it feels like really important that they're out there like putting the content out there and continue creating for us to experience. And
just making space for modern makers and modern quilters.
Yeah, and being there to blaze that trail for us so we can follow and carry it even further, I think is kind of cool. So anyway, I don't have anything else. Sorry. I'm out of list.
Let's have a guest.
Oh, and let's bring in a guest. Bowie, come here.
He's resistant to being brought in.
Bowie. This is Bowie.
This is my quilt tester.
He lays on the quilts to make sure that they're nice.
He tests their coziness levels, which is really important when you're quilting.
It's true. He's a good boy. He lets us know. I mean, he lives on every single one of them, so.
They're all good.
Yeah, every single quilt is good.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, if you haven't heard of any of these people or designers, like hopefully you check them out and just take a gander. I'm sure probably most of you have heard of them, but if not, like hopefully we can help inspire you to try something new or to pick a new fabric or just get out of your comfort zone.
Try a new pattern.
Yeah, that's scary sometimes, but it's important too. So, but so thanks for joining us. And if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, follow us. You can find me on Instagram at Sweet Pea Design Company.
And I'm on Instagram at Miranda Makes.
If you're listening, you can watch us on YouTube as well. And otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Bye! I can't do it. Okay, I'm going to start. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Miranda.
And this is not your Granny's Quilt Show. I forgot you say that part.
And you should keep going with that.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Not now, because you can't. You can't throw anything on the end of it. Just do it again, except laugh and be weird about it. But
okay.
Casual.
Casual.
We're going with the flow.
Casual.